You control the demon doll. You're a fierce-looking guy just minding your own business. Fierce. Hey guys, and welcome to GT Not Live, where today we're going to the theater. The Bad End Theater, apparently. I know nothing about this game, but it's one that a lot of you have been requesting us to play. Ash saw your request and was like, yes, I will listen to those requests. And so it was written, so it shall be done.
Yes, I'm always here for the people.
Where, if they have games that they are excited for us to play, where should they put those games?
Excellent question, Matt.
Thank you.
The places where you should put games, there is a link on our Game Theorist subreddit, or you can tweet me at absofruitlyash, and I will probably perceive it.
Great.
Yeah.
Perceive away.
Yeah.
There it is. So, without any further, well, I guess we could hop into this, but real quick, theater, obviously you guys know from the various talks that we've had, you know, years on GTLive, this and that. It's no secret that I have a background in theater, musical theater, but also, like, I did Shakespeare, I did Moliere, I toured around in professional theater, I was director, lighting design, like I did all the elements of theater. Ash, you also have a theater history to some extent, right?
Yep.
So I actually don't know a lot about this. You just mentioned it in passing in the past. So like, what exactly is your like theatrical background?
Yes, so I actually went to a fine arts high school.
Okay.
And I did like a high school major / endorsement in theater.
Endorsement.
Yeah.
I support theater.
No, it was...
Endorse. Hashtag spawn. Hashtag spawn.
Yeah, we didn't have like majors in high school, obviously. So if you wanted to like focus and specialize in a certain art, it was called an endorsement.
Oh, weird. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was a theater endorsee.
What other options could you endorse? I'm just curious. I've never heard of anything like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, so there was theater, there was musical theater.
Oh,
I was just straight up drama.
Okay, sure.
There was like a band, instrumental music endorsement, choir endorsement, visual art, dance.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so basically all the different like art specializations.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know that they added creative writing, I think, after I graduated, which is a bummer because I totally would have done that.
Yeah, I was going to say, that seems like up your alley.
Yeah.
For sure. Cool. And so like so as part of your endorsement, what did you do? Like did you perform? Did you like what was your Oh no. I have clearly tapped into some like deep-seated trauma here.
I was in the school's first ever auditioned like play, like first production that you could audition for to be in. I started the second year that the school was up.
So, that's a red flag. Red flag. Oh, welcome to our prestigious theater school that only opened last year. Here's our first ever show, because we've never done it before. Yeah, that's okay, already. I'm...
And you know what that show was? The Bald Soprano.
Here, educate everyone educate them on the Bald Soprano.
The Bald Soprano, by Eugene Ionesco, is an absurdist play, an anti-play, which was basically written to not make sense.
Wow.
And it centers around these two couples, mostly the Smiths, but also the Martins. And then there is a fire marshal and a maid.
Sure.
I was Mrs. Martin.
Okay.
And my Mr. Martin was cast because we both had the same hair color.
Oh no! All right, we're holding auditions. Let me see your hair.
Yep.
Okay, your hair. We got ourselves our star.
Martins.
You're gonna be a star, baby. We're gonna make you a star. Hey, well, you know what? Speaking of bad ends. Speaking of a lot of bad ends.
Oh no.
Bad end theater.
Yeah, there's
bad end theater.
There's some endings happening here.
There's a lot of bad stuff happening in our collective theater backgrounds.
Oh,
Let's talk about bad end theater. Do you know about what is this?
Well, there's theater. And most of the time it doesn't end well.
Wow. Man. from the School of Mirror Matte Summaries. English. Nami presents. Okay, content warning. Okay, blood, gore, violence, and strong language. Bad end theater. Can I do it here? Skip unseen text, no. After choices, transitions, full screen window. Can we see? So no. Default sans, okay. Alright. Guess we don't need to turn on reading stuff. So good. Start. Bad end theater. Oh, hold up. I should have put it at full screen. 1 second. Full screen. There it is. I noticed the bar up there. Wait, humans, peace-loving people ruled by their fear of violent demons. Welcome to Bad End Theater. On the stage, we shall be toying with fate. You will make many choices, unlocking darker and darker paths, all in order to witness a lovely variety of tragic events. But first, allow me to explain how it works. To begin the tutorial, select whichever doll you like. I mean, you are the demon doll, the human doll. Oh, demon doll, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right?
No.
Generic human or thing
Demon.
with character and personality. You control the demon doll. You're a fierce-looking guy, just minding your own business. Fierce. How will you interact with the human doll? I will attack it or I'll play nice with my demon doll. You try to make friends with the human doll, but it kills you in cold blood. All right, well, everyone, thank you. That was the end of our show.
Yay!
We immediately died. You found your very first bad ending, but don't worry, the story need not end here. Let's reset the stage and try again. This time, try controlling the other doll. Okay, sure. The human doll. You control the human doll. You're a friendly little guy, just minding. Apparently not. Killed my demon without a second thought. How will you interact with the demon doll? I will attack it. You kill the demon doll this time, and it doesn't resist. This is all because you chose to play nice in the first round. Oh, this is all because you chose to play nice in the first round. Are the mechanics becoming clear? Oh, so it's a loop, and it remembers what we did. So because I was the demon in the first one, and I was nice, that's interesting. Okay. Now that you know how the story goes, you can set the doll's behavior in advance. As you just saw, these behaviors will automatically be set to what you chose during your last playthrough. But now you can turn each one on or off without having to replay from the doll's perspective. Yes, my theater actually doubles as a puzzle game. Now try turning the doll's behavior on and off to see the different outcomes. Okay. You are the demon doll. You're fierce looking, just minding your own business. How will you interact with the human doll? You both attack each other at once and die together. Yep, okay. Let's reset one more time. Okay. Okay. The human doll will attack. The demon doll will... Okay. Let's have them be... Can they be friends? Can someone not die? I would love it if someone did not die.
What a concept.
Right? You control the human doll. You're a friendly little guy minding your own business. How will you interact? You will play nice. You and the demon doll are able to set aside your differences and become friends.
They're so cute.
Okay, there it is. That's what I wanted. Okay, so that makes sense. Do you understand how to play? I think so. This game saves your progress automatically, so just relax and collect all the bad endings at your own pace. Now, without further ado, let's start the show! Okay. Oh, hello. Hero, maiden, underling, overlord. Oh, I mean, overlord, right? Like, I mean, is there much of a contest here? Overlord! You are the overlord! You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think. I even got a Doctor Strange third eye up there. Awesome. Except for all those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called a hero whose whole purpose in life is just to dethrone you. What's their deal anyway? You've actively avoided pissing off the humans in hopes that they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole overlord thing if you're really being quite honest with yourself. You don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being the evil overlord that they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to the higher standard like that. That is pretty cool also. Well, actually, humans are the worst. Humans are like, they look different. Stab, stab, stab. Right? And here's Demon Overlord being like, hey, I'm just trying to be cool with you guys. One of your underlings walks into the room totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one ever comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? So let's give him the day off. Let's be nice. You know? You tell them to go take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. Technically, I think we should have put them to work, because now we've just rewarded their whining and bad behavior. So, you know, if people or demons are basically founded on this idea of, like, output, and then, you know, they're rewarded or punished for input, you know, based on that, then we've just rewarded this guy for being kind of, like, whiny and complainy, but we'll see.
Someone studied neuroscience.
You know it!
Whoop whoop.
Classical and operant conditioning, man. A lot of things in life get explained pretty efficiently that way.
Yeah.
They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while nap for a while. Being the Overlord sure is great. Nice. That was a good end. Good end. You awake to a huge commotion outside. A hero has shown up and they started totally murdering your soldiers. What the heck, guy? You rush out into the battlefield to confront this jerkwad. You curse him and very rudely inquire as to his reasons for doing this. The hero yells at you, demanding you return the maiden you're holding captive. You don't know what he's talking about, but you can't forgive his actions. You do battle with the hero, but he's grown strong from cutting down your army. You're unable to defeat him. With decisive swings, he stabs and cuts you to pieces. Oh no. Oh, you fall. You failed your subjects. I got one choice out of this. You spit curses weakly. You wish you'd been stronger. Maybe you were never suited to be the Overlord in the first place. The truth was, you were never that much more powerful than the demons who served you. It was the title, the control that gave you. Oh man, this is very real. These are your thoughts as you're swallowed by darkness. Yay, me! Woohoo! Let's reset the stage, shall we? Here, let's do this again. You live in a castle surrounded by a cushy life. Okay, I'm gonna be tyrant this time. One of your underlings walks into the room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place. You see their point, but they're whining about it. What do? Tell them to get back to work. Get back to work. You give them a lecture about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. Your servants ought to do what they're told, whether they like it or not. They look really unhappy with you, but you're sure they'll thank you for this later. Venturing too far from the castle tends to spell death. You dismiss the underling. You see, probably should have communicated it that way, though, because I think, on one hand, I'm like, oh, I need to keep this person near me, so that way they can help me fight the hero, but also if they're mad at me, they might turn on me for the hero, so I can already see how the decisions are going to combine together in order to produce different results, which is interesting. All that lecturing made me want to take a nap. You fall asleep pretty quickly. Just another one of your amazing talents as the Overlord. You wake up to the huge commotion. A hero has shown up and started murdering soldiers. You rush out and curse at him. The hero yells at you, demanding you return the maiden. You don't know what he's talking about, but you can't forgive the actions. You do battle, but he's going strong. With decisive... Okay, so he cuts you to pieces. You spit curses. Maybe you were never suited to be the Overlord. Okay. Those are your thoughts as you're swallowed by darkness. Okay, so, same ending.
Maybe you have to get more endings.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, I think we need more endings. So let's be this maiden. Let's find out what's going on with the maiden.
The maiden is cute.
Right? Oh my gosh! You are a maiden. You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. You're told that you are fated to be captured by the overlord one day because you are a beautiful young girl. Oh man, determinism. Demon overlords apparently love capturing those. Think of how you haven't heard of that actually happening to anyone, but maybe the demons just haven't been given the opportunity? Who knows? You are in church. You pray to your God, asking why you've been born into this role of maiden. Ah, determinism. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point of it is. You are impatient. Meeting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Aw.
I love her.
Right?
I'd do anything for her.
Right? She's amazing. You're like, ooh. She's like, I question my place in society. Can I change it? And also, this sounds pretty exciting.
That's pretty gosh darn cool.
Right? Maybe you'd understand your role better if you were just to hurry up and get captured already. You leave a note and venture forth to find a demon just to, see what happens. Not long after your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. Looks pretty scary. I don't know. Introduce yourself. Polite. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. The demon suddenly jumps at you and starts biting. This guy's the worst. A lot. How painful.
At least ask her name.
Right? No. Ash, he was really hungry, okay?
Hungry?
Hungry.
Couldn't they just have gotten lunch?
Lunch. Maiden. This plan of yours was completely stupid, you think. Why couldn't you have been more patient? Why did you go out looking for trouble? You weren't angry or anything, of course. This was all your fault for trusting a demon not to devour you on sight. This is your punishment for questioning fate, you guess. Bit by bit, you're swallowed by the demon until you are no more. Oh. Consumed maiden ending. Oh, no. That was so sad. Here, again, out of curiosity, what if I turn off polite? Let's be me this time. You're a maiden. You live peacefully in the village. You're told that you're fated. Who knows? You're in the church. You pray to God. You expect the divine plan. You're impatient. You leave a note. Okay. I shout for a hero to come save me. You yell, but a hero does not come. Okay, and then you start fighting. Okay. So yeah, it seems like right now all of our endings are kind of determined as we get a sense of what just the general flow of the thing is. Underling. You are a demon underling in service of the overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place, staring into nothing. You feel like you're going to go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the overlord for a day off. She gives you an earful about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish her lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everyone? You complain about the overlord to your friends. They agree that she's kind of a snob, totally deserves to be kicked off her throne. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, but the conversation somehow turned into an assassination plot. Oh, jeez. You should probably steer this in a responsible direction.
No.
Let's overthrow her.
Yeah.
No! You're sick of this overlord holding you and your friends back. You agree that it's time for a change of management. Your friends suggest maybe you should be the new overlord. You'll like the sound of that, you bet. You announce your first act of rebellion is to take that day off like you wanted. I was gonna say, that's not... You were just put into the position, man! You don't just fly off and take a day off. Come on! Your friends aren't very impressed. You assure them that you'll talk about this assassination thing when you get back, which satisfies them. You sneak out of the castle to have some fun. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She seems very frightened and screams for a hero to come... Okay, so now we're seeing how the stories are overlapping. And she screams for a hero to come save her. You consider your options. Gobble her up. Tell her to quit yelling. I like that this is the hungry option.
Hungry.
Tell her to quit yelling. When the maiden realizes you're not going to hurt her, she regains her composure. Now she's started talking to you like you're friends or something. You don't understand humans at all. You speak the same language, of course, which has always confused you because why is there conveniently only one language in this world? If demons and humans have independent societies, wouldn't it make more sense for them to each have their own language? The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny that she's trying to fulfill. Bottom line, from what you gather, is that she wants you to take her to the overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do, even though you were just elected as overlord of the demon society. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the current overlord. The overlord asks where you found this maiden, knowing full well that you left the castle when you weren't supposed to. You apologize for disobeying her, but hope that the maiden is an interesting enough present that you may be forgiven. The overlord nods and says everything's cool as long as you always listen to her from now on. You're impressed with what an easygoing boss she is. You mention how you can't believe that you and your friends even considered overthrowing her. She gives you a look and you say, that was just a joke, of course. It's amazing. She smiles and dismisses you. You decide it's about time for a nap. Oh, wow, okay. After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sound of battle. You emerge from your room to find that a hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. Not the work associates! Anyone, friends, whatever, but the work associates!
Not my associates!
No! Now I have to do all the paperwork myself and can't pass it off to HR.
We were supposed to have a team meeting at 3.
We were gonna go out to the club later.
I was working on the greatest slide deck.
My PowerPoint, no! Now who's gonna watch it?
My associates.
It was Fiesta Friday tomorrow. We were gonna make tacos for lunch. This is the true tragedy of the story. What a jerk. Okay, avenge my fallen comrades. Die. Save yourself. Save myself. You look around at the lifeless forms of those you've known as far back as you can remember. You feel glad not to be in their shoes. You also feel guilty to be thinking that as you flee the castle, till you remember your role, not as an underling, but as a demon. This kind of thing is expected of you. Maybe you'll start a new life, far away from any humans or demons, where you'll live peacefully alone in some deep, dark forest somewhere. Ah, the deserter ending.
Oh no.
Excellent. Huh. Hungry, disloyal, tyrant, polite. Okay, so let's do that again. And I'm just going to quickly run through it. Just so we can do, let's overthrow her. And then we're going to tell her to quit yelling. And I'm just going to make the final choice different so we can get whatever that ending is. She's impressed. Okay, let's avenge my fallen comrades. Who does this guy think he is, coming in here and killing everyone like some sort of maniac? What did we ever do to him? You lunge at him while he's busy driving his sword into the guard who sometimes brought you food whenever they noticed that you were feeling kind of down.
Aww, my associates.
Right, work associates. He was not stealing lunch from the company fridge, tell you what.
No, sir.
No, he was bringing Starbucks to everyone.
Yes, sir.
You liked that guard. You wish with all your demon heart for this hero to suffer for his deeds. You bite into him, tearing flesh from bone. It tastes like iron. The hero struggles. You feel his sword go through you, but there is no pain, only retribution. More of your comrades pile onto him as your consciousness fades. The hero is overtaken. Your army has won. You've earned your rest. Aw, victorious underling. That was pretty good. I like that one.
I think so.
So, how does it change if the Overlord... What's a good... Here. Let's be hungry this time. I think one of the best ways to do this is to, like, go through the routes, but try to, like, do as many of the consistent choices as possible, so, like the ending branches.
And then, like, hit those little boxes at the beginning and see how it changes?
Yeah. So here, let's gobble her up this time. Okay, maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You start devouring the maiden without so much as a second thought, and you feel quite proud of that. Other humans would surely praise you with curses. If they were around to see. Oh man, if only someone could have been watching. Time to find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander into the nearby village. The people are screaming and running away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. Think it's pretty rude of them. You haven't even done anything yet. Well, this is gonna kill me. Let's put on a show. You attack the nearest human. He is old and weak, and his bones crunch delightfully. Your audience's screams grow louder. Applause. You think, hey, this is actually pretty fun. Should have taken revenge like this a lot sooner. As you continue your bloodthirsty dance, striking the villagers down, you fail to notice a sword-wielding hero running towards you. He takes you out with a swift blow. You're just a demon underling, after all. As you die, you think, totally worth it. The curtain closes. Performer underling. Huh.
That was me.
That was you?
In high school.
Performer underling?
Uh-huh.
But what color was his hair? I don't know if you will have gotten that role. His hair's white. Your hair, not white.
No. Well, they know I'm Ginge.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe you changed it. See? You're just giving them lore clues.
I mean, but here's the thing. I feel like with the name Ash, it's super appropriate to have hair the color of
fiery
fire.
red, the fiery red. Yeah, absolutely. Understandable. Okay. Again, we're going to overthrow that. Again, I think the right way to kind of keep track of everything that we're doing is to funnel it as many times as possible down the same route, and then you kind of shift each time. So here, sneak out, have some fun. We're going to eat her this time. Again. And this time, instead of doing a show, I'm going to change my mind and leave. You figure if people are this upset at just the sight of you, they probably won't appreciate the terrible acts you commit. Also, they might fight back. That probably wouldn't end well. You are just a little underling after all. This little day out has been adequately refreshing. You return to the castle, thinking you'll take a nap. After a few hours, you're rudely awakened to the sounds of the battle. You emerge from your room to find that the hero has slaughtered the work associates. And then we're done with this. Okay, so this is back to the same thing. Okay. Deserter. Set the stage again. This is fun.
It is.
This is delightful. I like this. I love running permutations of things. This is really cool. It's like a big giant time loop. This time, let's not overthrow her, because that's the first branch that we haven't tried yet. What's she know? Everyone's like, oh, let's overthrow her. He says, let's not overthrow her. You tell your friends that you were totally not serious about this whole thing. You were actually really cool with the status quo. After all, life must be pretty dang good if the only thing you have to complain about is that you live so comfortably that there's nothing to do. The others nod, but don't seem so convinced. You say a coup d'etat would be more effort than it's worth. But you're still gonna be a rebel and sneak out of the castle. Your friends praise your mischievous ways. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend your time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. We encounter the maiden. Okay, so this is... Okay. Bottom line is, from what you gather, she wants to take you to the Overlord. Take you to the Overlord, you disobey. She gives you a look, that was a joke. Dismisses you, it's time for your nap. Hero comes, avenging my fallen comrades. Okay. Yep. Okay. So we've gotten those. Before we hop into Hero, which I think is the next step here, before we hop into Hero, I think I'm going to turn off Tyrant for the Overlord.
Okay.
So that way she's nice to me at the beginning, and just see what that does. Job in the castle. Okay. So you feel like you're going crazy. If you don't get a break, you decide to ask the Overlord for the day off. She's surprisingly cool with it. Nice. You set off on your adventure in the castle. Okay, now we're gonna find her. She screams for the hero. Okay, and now we bring her back. Let's see if that changes, like being nice. Oh, interesting. Okay, so now that we've brought her back, they seem to be getting along just fine. So you decide it's time for a nap. Okay, now, and we're back to nap. Hero comes. Save myself. I feel guilty. Okay. Okay. So that's interesting. That does change things a little bit. And if she's polite, here, last attempt, and then we'll do the hero story. She's cool with it. So now the maiden's going to be nice to me. She's not going to scream for help. You encounter the maiden. She greets you and says that she has a favor to ask. You consider your options. Gobble her up. Let's hear her out. Because we know what gobble her up's going to do. You're in a good mood today and are rather curious about what the maiden has to say. Humans don't usually talk to you, so this is kind of exciting. You hadn't guessed it would even be possible to understand each other before now. The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. Bottom line, she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds interesting, besides you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day, you go back, present her to the Overlord. They seem to be getting along just fine, so it's time for a nap. Okay, so then the hero's gonna come in, kill everyone. I was hoping that maybe the maiden would step in and talk to the hero, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, so we definitely need the hero ending now. So here we go. Hero. So he's not gonna be hungry, he's not gonna be disloyal, she's gonna be nice. Okay. Hero, you are the hero! You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You are told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely being held captive at the nearby demon overlord's castle. Who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? Just don't get it. It's true. You see, this is a man who's asking the questions that we should be asking.
Exactly.
This is a guy with an opinion we should be listening to right now.
Fax machine.
Right. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though. You were born to play the role. Because you have a belt on your head. And that spells hero. Nothing says hero quite like wearing a belt on your head. 4 reasons. But seriously, why is he got a belt on his head?
I don't know. I think it just makes him feel good about life.
Is that what it is? Is that what it takes to feel good about life?
I thought so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If I wear a belt on my head, will that make me feel good about life? This is called cosplay, Ash. I don't know if you're familiar.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I went to art school.
I mean, but did you? Did you really go to an art school? We did, you know. You were only in the first ever production.
That's not true.
No, I'm just kidding. Was the second production better?
Second production was Macbeth, but instead of the 3 witches, it was the 11th Doctor, Amy, and Rory.
Wait, hold up. Sorry. hold on. You're telling me that your art school did Macbeth as their second ever production in the history of the school, and that they decided to not do Three Witches, but instead replace the witches with Doctor Who?
Yep.
With the Doctor from Doctor Who.
Yeah. Yeah.
And red flag! Red flag! At any point, did anyone at the school be like, this seems suspicious. Like, this doesn't seem like what people should be doing at a theater school?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you still continue to attend?
Yeah. I was like, if I go to public school, I'm going to get bullied. So I might as well just stay here.
So I might as well stay in this school where the witches are the doctor from Doctor.
No, that's exactly what happened.
Man, talk about between a rock and a hard place there.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if going to an art school with, that actively is like, we're inserting Doctor Who into our Shakespearean classic. I don't think that's going to help. Like, out in real life, I don't think it's going to help you not get made fun of.
No, you could tell it was solely for his entertainment.
You head off on your adventure. See, I'm cosplaying as Hero. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden. But demon soldiers block your path. You could kill them to gain experience. Bravely slaughter or flee like a coward. Let's flee like a coward. Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life. But you can't return home now. Your reputation will be ruined. You wonder how you'll ever be able to rescue that maiden all on your own if you can't even fight some lousy demon underlings. You'll take your chances at the castle. You are a hero after all. That's your job. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You're faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. Cut through? Ask if they'll let you in. Let's ask. Let's talk. You go up to the nearest demon and explain why you've come here. They stare you down and you feel very uncomfortable, but they seem to trust you, and they escort you directly to the Overlord's chamber. That was easy. The Overlord and maiden seem to be in the middle of some casual conversation when you barge in. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. There is no time to hesitate. Destroy the Overlord. Let's ask the maiden what's going on. Let's use words rather than belt heads. Let's use our belt. Yeah, no. Let's
use the head under the belt.
Yeah, let's use the head under the belt rather than the sword in the hand. See, that's why the belt's up here, to remind you. Use what's under the belt. This is what's use what's under the belt the whole time. The maiden explains that she was never actually captured. She's here on her own volition. That was a pretty dangerous thing for her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You ask her to return to town with you to reassure everyone of her safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you casually exit the castle. You try to make conversation with the maiden, but she's been pretty quiet since leaving the Overlord's room. Is she shy? She suddenly stops in her tracks, and you turn your head to ask what the deal is. Oh, the Overlord's castle is engulfed in flames. You can't help but feel relieved you got the maiden out of there when you did, but she suddenly takes off running towards the burning castle. Panic sets in, and you follow her to try and stop her. The smoke is so thick, you've already lost sight of her. What is she thinking? It's too dangerous to continue. You feel hopeless. You stand alone at the castle gates. Your body won't allow you to take another step forward. No, going in there would be suicide. You'll return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by... Hey, maiden was not claimed by the demons. How about you get your story straight, hero? Use what's under the belt. Bystander, hero, and bee. Huh, I wonder what started the fire. Underling?
Did Underling do arson?
Maybe Underling performed arson.
Huh.
Yeah, maybe. Also, Maiden is definitely in love with Overlord, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? I ship them.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
That's absolutely.
You see that conversation they had in the non-tyrant?
Right, they had a polite conversation. It was all, that was it.
Oh, yeah.
That was it right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I think we go... I'm not cosplaying as hero anymore, because I'm going to go Maiden.
Okay.
Here, she's got a...
Oh, yes. Yes!
It's my Maiden cosplay. It matches, doesn't it?
It's great.
Okay, he's going to be... Okay. Dutiful and heroic kills people. Diplomatic is good. Polite is good. I don't want him to eat her. I don't want him to be disloyal. I want everyone to be friends. I just want everyone to be friends, Ash. What I want here is everyone to just get along and use what's under their belts. when the belt's on their head and not the bells.
Right,
Bells,
yes,
you know.
yes.
You're the maiden! You're told that you're fated to be captured by the Overlord one day because you are a beautiful young girl. Demon Overlords apparently love capturing those. You think of how you haven't actually heard that happening to anyone. You're in the church. You ask about being in this role. You're like, hey, this sounds pretty exciting. I could use a little zest in my life. Let's get zesty with it. Not long
I love
after you're
that
living...
I'm the maiden. Is she saying...
Just because she wants a zesty life, you know. Not long into your adventure, a demon underling appears before you. It looks pretty scary. Introduce. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. You tell them that you were thinking maybe you could understand your role better if you were to hurry up and get taken away by a demon already. The demon doesn't seem to have really been listening to you, which is kind of irritating. They agree to take you to their master nonetheless. After a long walk to the castle, you're introduced to the Overlord. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. Turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens, or to do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, it doesn't make sense to you. You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out, and something awful would happen. Then a hero would come to your rescue. You don't want to believe that you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the Overlord what you should do to be a more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. See? This is an Overlord who's got some ideas. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on staying to talk with her more. The Overlord shares many stories about demons with you, and little by little you realize that they might not be the ruthless monsters that you were always raised to believe. You also suddenly developed a lisp for some reason. As it turns out, she commanded her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk giving the humans any excuse to send a hero out after them. You realize that must be why you've never heard of any demons attacking your town. You express your gratitude to the Overlord on behalf of your village. She says that you can thank her by telling the humans to stop raising heroes. She's tired of her servants getting killed off by them. You've always thought demons were violent and unreasonable creatures, but it seems the Overlord could say the same of humans.
It's all coming together.
Oh, you see, that's called a theme.
A theme?
Yeah, we're walking away with a moral to the story.
A theme?
A theme! A motif.
Ooh.
You may be different, but really, they're just trying to live their lives the same as you. You feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. But maybe everything I said was to deceive you and the other humans. What would you do if I turned out to be super evil all along? Even if she were to capture you now, you think this place is far more interesting than the way things are back home. You kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all the time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with this Overlord has been, it is the Overlord. Like, literally the owner of a castle with tons of servants. Like, yes, very polite, very nice demon, but also in charge of literally a society of, like, otherworldly beings. It's got its perks.
And you're just a little maiden.
Right? It's got you can tell based on...
That's your little maiden hat.
That's my little maiden hat. That's it.
You just trot around the village.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the market.
My little maiden hat.
Yeah.
I'm going to the village. I'm gonna be kidnapped one day.
Because I'm so pretty.
Maybe one day I too will be kidnapped and fulfill my purpose in life. Yay! One can only hope. If I don't get kidnapped, maybe I'll be lucky and be able to make some babies for some hero.
I'm written with so many dimensions.
Oh wow, look at me. I have such a deep personality and I have so much agency over my own life. But spending time with Overlord's been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. As you think that, the hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first until you realize that he must have been sent to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you were never in any danger. The hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hasn't led to any horrible consequences. You apologize for causing trouble, but really, didn't anyone read the note you left? Jeez, it's true.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the maiden did the responsible thing. Probably should have put it in the hand. Like, to be fair, the maiden put it in the church. And based on the amount of people that were in those pews, it didn't seem like anyone was really frequenting the church in this society. Shame. How far we have strayed from our moral roots. The hero, it's just a commentary. The hero asks if you'll return to the village with him to give everyone the news of your safety. The overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you give her a little wave as you exit the room. You'll be back soon.
Yeah, you will.
You're about halfway back to the village when you feel something is off. Unable to shake your concern, you look back over your shoulder. You stop in your tracks. The castle is engulfed in flames. Is the overlord all right? You can't return to the village like this. You have to know. You have to be sure everyone's safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the overlord's room, but the door is shut tight. The handle is too hot to touch. You're too weak to force it open. You pound your fists against the door helplessly. What were you thinking? This is all because you'd forgotten your role. Only a hero could pull this kind of thing off. Right? If only you had used some combination of belt and hat and paper towel.
Actually, that's kind of a look.
I'm right? This is a mood. This is a vibe right here. I'm setting a trend.
Oh my gosh.
It's not pretty. It's not bad, actually.
I know.
It's kind of good. I'm digging it.
What? Wow.
Right?
Look at you.
This is like I'm going to wear this out to a day at the races. This is my summer hat.
Yeah, you're going to the first ever, Kentucky Derby.
Going to the summer hat. Uh-huh. I'm going to bet on Old Steelside today at the races. Go Old Steelside. I'm going to win the trifecta. Sipping from some tea from my glass with my little parasol over my head.
I really have to start writing skits for you.
I don't want to sun myself. I don't want the sun is powerful hot.
I don't want to sun myself.
It's powerful hot. Maybe I'll pour myself a glass of sweet tea or a nice refreshing mint julep.
Oh, I love me a mint julep.
Mint julep, but non-alcoholic. I can't be going crazy this evening. You start to cough. And scene. Thank you.
Yay!
I'd say that was pretty much on par with your high school's performances, right? That was about there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That was the extent of the direction we got. That was helpful.
Oh, the smoke is too thick. You can hardly breathe. You realize you haven't got much time left now, so you desperately head towards the stairs to save yourself. But the fire spread faster than you expected. You won't make it outside. You can't help but laugh. What a joke. A maiden saving the overlord? If you just stayed true to your role, things wouldn't have ended like this. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. You let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. Selfless maiden NB. I mean, that was a bummer. This is rough, man.
I spent time. We made a cut. I'm in my feelings. I'm upset.
This is rough, man. This is rough.
I'm upset.
Here's the thing, though. I think, yeah, so Ash and I talked for a minute.
We did.
And I think, because the game is self-aware, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think the moral of this story is, right now, all these endings are oh, you gotta know your place in society and this and that, and, everyone's gonna suffer from a bad end. And this, I have a feeling that once you've unlocked all 40 endings or whatever, you get the true ending, which ultimately hinges on everyone not necessarily being true to their role, right?
Yeah.
Because if I know anything about indie games, especially indie games with this art style and these character models and this and that, I have a feeling that they're trying to say something about, not following through with preset determined, determinism of your role in society and you are this, thus you should act thusly.
Yeah.
That is the moral of this story, right? Is going to be hey, that belief system should be thrown out the door and people aren't exactly what you expect.
Yeah.
Right, I think. So.
Which is partially the plot of High School Musical.
What a powerful shift you just made there, Ash! Why?
Well, they have that song about the status quo.
No! Stick to the status quo. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I did a professional production of High School Musical.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm
Worm?
well aware. Worm. A worm.
Worm.
True worm.
Extreme worm.
Yeah, facts. Ferks.
Fax machine.
Fax machine. Fact. Yeah, that's it. I've done that. That is a thing that I have done in my life.
Oh, yeah.
I stuck to the status quo, and then we upended the status quo through the power of basketball and singing.
Did you get your head in the game?
And I did. I got my head in the game.
Wait, who were you?
I was understudy for Troy. And then I was a general like swing through a bunch of things.
Oh, bet.
Yeah.
I could see you being a Troy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It's a terrible show to sing. It is brutal. The guy's like average note is like a high A constant. Ooh. Yeah, it's rough. Everyone lost. Ooh. Everyone like had vocal nodes at the end of it. Like,
no.
Yeah, it was rough. Hey, should we wrap here?
I'm thinking we wrap this thing. Like
you think so? I feel like this is I feel like we only have 7 endings, but I feel like that was not a good ending, but it was an interesting ending to end on because it was a long one and it was the first time that we really saw all the roles interacting. Yeah. So I guess the questions that we have at this point are, what's causing the fire? And how do we get the hero to be heroic, but also not kill everyone, honestly? And I'm also curious, the game keeps saying, like, oh, you should have followed your prescribed roles, So I'm wondering if that's the game trying to tell us, like, in order to move things forward or in order to kind of, like, get to a specific ending, by actually following the prescribed roles, if that leads us to other interesting things. One thing I'm kind of curious about, too, is, like, we went through the Maiden's, a pretty lengthy storyline in the Maiden, but it didn't unlock any more options for her, which I think is interesting. The fact that I'm wondering if there's a different route here or something that she's supposed to do. Maybe by screaming for the hero and then the hero comes and saves her, maybe that unlocks different pathways for her. Huh. But really, I kept expecting there to be another choice for her, but she didn't get one. So again, maybe that's a commentary. Are you laughing about my hat?
I got used to it. And then I pulled myself out. I stopped, like, suspending the disbelief. And then
maybe this will be our next merch. Maybe we can include this in the next round of merch.
I think so.
Right? Now, you too can have the belt paper towel hat. It's very easy to produce. Honestly, dear Met Gala, my name is Matthew Patrick, and I would like to apply for next year's event. This is a picture of what I will wear. Hey, fashion nowadays is all about not wasting materials, using eco-friendly materials. This is it right here. Old belt plus paper towel. Glad I had these handy.
Yeah. It's got the nice black and white with the offset, like, rim.
Right. It even works with the... It even works with... Like, I'm just wearing this today. It works really well. Really, it's a whole look. Remember, friends, it wasn't a video. It was a video. It wasn't a live stream, but it was a video for you. See ya!